Alright, guys, I am here because I am tired of all these memes slandering the wonderful state that is Ohio. I shall present to you all facts proving Ohio is the superior state in the US. First of all, the beginning of Ohio. Ohio is the 17th state to join the US, and it was considered one of the earliest and most influential industrial powerhouses during the 20th century. You hear that? An industrial powerhouse. Ohio is also known as the mother of presidents. You want to know why? Ohio has produced 7 U.S. presidents, the second most presidents produced by a U.S. state, losing only to Virginia by 1, with the earliest of the U.S. presidents being none other than the 18th president and Civil War general hero Ulysses S. Grant. Interesting fact as well, we produced 3 presidents in a row. The 18th, 19th, and 20th presidents were all Ohioans. You see that? You see that? Really big, important Ohioan right here. Bet y'all didn't know that, did you? The Civil War, as previously stated, Ulysses S. Grant was an Ohioan. But also, the Ohio River and railroads were vital for troop and supply movement. Ohio contributed, I just found this out myself, looking this up. Ohio contributed the most soldier per capita of all of the states in the Union at the time. Also, I don't know how many of y'all learned this in history, but during slavery, there was the railroad that helped move slaves north towards freedom, which was considered typically past the Ohio River, which was Ohio. Ohio was considered the first reached free state. Also, this is something that I see all the time, and people get it incorrect every time. North Carolina is not the birthplace of aviation. The Wright brothers were not from North Carolina. The Wright brothers were Ohioans. They were born in Dayton, Ohio. Their workshop is still here in Dayton, Ohio as a museum, memorial, whatever. They had the idea for the airplane and made the airplane in Ohio. Ohio is the birthplace of aviation. Just because they flew it down in North Carolina, everything else happened here in Ohio. Ohio is the true birthplace of aviation. It says so on our license plates. Get your facts straight, everybody on the internet. Holy cow, it is so aggravating. Speaking of flying, Ohio is home to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, I can't say it's the, because I'm not sure, but I know it is one of the largest and most important Air Force bases in the U.S. Also, fun fact, Wright-Pat Air Force Base also houses the oldest and largest military aircraft museum in the world. I have been there. It is pretty cool. Wright-Pat was also featured, very interestingly, in the very popular alien invasion dystopian teenage book series, The Fifth Wave. Yes, that is over here in Ohio. Also, even more with aviation and flying and all of that. Neil Armstrong, commander of the Apollo 11 mission, one of the first men on the moon. You know, one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Yeah, he's an Ohioan. He was born in Wampakoneta, Ohio. He is an Ohioan. Another step for Ohio. Now, I won't say Ohio's all good. We do have our rivalries. Of course, the one with North Carolina, which, more details, they really fought us over it and we came out the true victories of that when we got it on their license plates. But there's also the more well-known and much larger rivalry of Ohio versus Michigan. Many people know that with sports, Michigan versus Ohio State. But I can guarantee you, you probably don't know how that rivalry started. Fun fact, 1835, before Michigan was technically a state, Ohio and Michigan had their own little war that lasted an entire year, known as the Toledo War. The Toledo War was a battle over a land dispute. This little strip here, right above the Maumee Bay, next to Lake Erie, all the way to Indiana. Yeah, Toledo tried to become a state and say, yeah, this is ours. And Ohio said, no, it's not. That's ours. It came into a big fight that ended in 1836 when the U.S. finally said, okay, you know what? We'll give you that little section right next to Wisconsin, and we'll name you a state if you give that little strip to Ohio. And they said, okay. That is how the Ohio-Michigan rivalry started. Other interesting facts about Ohio. In 2021, Ohio ranked 8th out of 50 states in gross domestic production. Ohio is generally ranked top 5 in most affordable states to live, which is measured comparing median home prices to median income. And Ohio, depending on the source you look up, typically varies between 1st and 4th place. Also, Ohio is the 7th most populated state in the U.S. with a population of 11 to 12 million. That is 3.5% of the U.S. population. We don't compete with California and Texas, but holy cow, that's nearly impossible. Roughly 50%. Also, you cannot escape. Roughly 50% of U.S. population lives within a 500-mile radius of Columbus, Ohio. Take that. You cannot escape. Also, big, huge, Ohio, important people come from Ohio. Thomas Edison was born in Ohio. You know the light bulb? You know the phonogram? Hey, that is from Thomas Edison. And where is Thomas Edison from? Ohio. Also, kind of neat, Ohio has the largest Amish population of any state in the U.S. You want to see Amish people? Apparently, just come to Ohio. I also found a list of famous people, famous Ohioans. Of course, you have Neil Armstrong and Thomas Edison and Ulysses S. Grant, but we also have Steph Curry. Steph Curry, famous basketball player, he's an Ohioan. LeBron James, famous basketball player, he's an Ohioan. Coincidentally, both Steph Curry and LeBron James are from Akron, Ohio. Steven Spielberg, Ohioan. Guy Fieri from Columbus, Ohio. Drew Carey from The Price is Right, he's an Ohioan. Halle Berry, she's an Ohioan. Look at all these famous people from Ohio. I also decided to include some YouTubers, because that's who I care about more, honestly. Like, I watch a lot of YouTube. Y'all know Matt Pat from Game Theory? He's an Ohioan. Unfortunately, the Paul brothers, Jake and Logan Paul, they're Ohioans. And I thought I'd include this because technically Markiplier is not an Ohioan. He did live a good portion of his life, as mentioned through many things on multiple of his videos in his past, that he has lived a decent portion in Cincinnati, Ohio, which is where he actually met his good friend Wade Barnes, or Lord Minion 777, who is an Ohioan. Lots of really big Ohioans. You see that? Ohio is important. Ohio had the greatest people. The greatest people come from Ohio. Clearly, with all this gathered info, Ohio should be considered by all as the most important state in the U.S. We are large, historically vital and involved, and clearly controversially superior. Just whatever you do not get lost in our cornfields, or you may become the next offering to our eldritch gods who live there. Yes, hell is real. By the way, this is a real sign located in I-71 connecting Columbus to Cincinnati. Thank you all for coming to my talk about how Ohio is superior. Now get your facts straight and stop hating because you ain't us. Don't hate us because you ain't us. Yeah, whatever. You know what I mean. Bye.